Welcome back. Today, we're going to dive into something that's totally changing the game for modern businesses. It's called SAP S/4HANA Cloud, Public Edition. So, let's jump right in.
Okay, so let's start with a big question. In a world that's just always changing, right? Supply chains get tangled up, what customers want seems to shift overnight. The biggest risk for any company isn't making a wrong move, it's not moving at all.
And here's the thing. A lot of businesses are kind of stuck. They're struggling with these old legacy systems. You know the ones I'm talking about? They were built for a totally different time. They're rigid, they cost a ton to keep running, and they just can't keep up. They're holding back innovation when you need it most. So, the real question is, how do you build a business that's not just surviving change, but actually thriving on it? Well, a huge part of the answer is in its core technology. And that's what brings us to our main topic today, SAP S/4HANA Cloud Public Edition. Yeah, I know, that's a bit of a mouthful, but let's break it down. Think of it like the central nervous system for a business. It's the brain that connects everything. Finance, manufacturing, sales, you name it. The key difference? It's all delivered right over the internet, as a service. I love this analogy because it's just perfect. The old way of doing things was like deciding you need electricity, so you go out and build your own power plant. Can you imagine the cost, the maintenance, all that complexity? It's crazy. The new way? You just plug into the grid. SAP takes care of the giant, complex power station in the background, so you can focus all your energy on what really matters, running your business. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the DNA of this thing. First off, it's 100% software as a service, SaaS. You just subscribe to it, kind of like Netflix, super simple. It runs on SAP's HANA database, which is incredibly powerful, meaning it can chew through massive amounts of data in a blink. Plus, it was built for your phone from day one, with a really clean interface called Fiori. And it's also known as a multi-tenant solution, which is just a fancy way of saying the infrastructure is shared. That's a huge deal, because it keeps costs down and means everyone gets the latest innovations at the same time.
Okay, so we've covered what it is, but the big question is, so what? Why should a business care? Well, the benefits really stack up into four main pillars.
Pillar number one is all about being agile. Look, instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, the system comes with industry best practices already baked right in. What does that mean for you? It means you get up and running way faster, and you start seeing value from it much sooner. Next up, it's flexible. Because let's be real, no two businesses are the same. I like to think of it like your smartphone. The main operating system, the core, is super solid and secure, right? But you can add all sorts of apps to make it do exactly what you want it to do. It's the same idea here. You can tailor it to your unique needs without messing with the core engine. Benefit number 3 is a huge one, continuous innovation. Since it's a true cloud service, you're always on the latest version. New features, AI, automation, all the cool new stuff just gets delivered to you automatically. Think about that. You'll never be stuck using outdated software ever again. And the fourth pillar? Resilience. This is absolutely critical. We're talking about the system that runs your entire business. It has to be rock solid. So you get top-tier security, incredible reliability, and disaster recovery built right in. It lets you sleep at night knowing your business is protected. Okay, so those 4 pillars are the foundation. But now we get to what I think is the most exciting part, how this thing actually makes your business smarter. We're not just talking about being a little more efficient. We're talking about weaving intelligence right into the fabric of your everyday work.
And, don't just take my word for it. These capabilities are getting a lot of attention. The big-name industry analysts, like Gartner, have really taken notice, pointing out just how comprehensive it is as a fully managed cloud solution.
And here's the proof. This is Gartner's famous Magic Quadrant, and you can see SAP sitting right up there in the Leaders Quadrant. Now, that's not just some fancy label. To get there, you have to prove 2 things: that you have a powerful vision for the future, and that you can actually execute on that vision for your customers. It's a really big deal.
And it's not a one-off. IDC, another major analyst firm, tells the exact same story in their MarketScape report. They did their own deep dive, looked at the strategy and the capabilities, and, yep, they also named SAP a leader. So you're seeing a real consensus here from the experts.
Okay, leader, intelligence. What does that actually mean for your day-to-day? This is where it gets real. Look at this number, 42%. That's how many sales orders can be automated using the machine learning that's built right in. Just stop and think about that for a second. Imagine freeing up your team from all that mind-numbing data entry. What could they do at that time? Build better customer relationships, find new leads? That's the kind of tangible impact we're talking about.
Okay, that's powerful stuff. But you might be wondering, how does one system work for so many different kinds of companies? Well, that's where its smart, industry-focused design really shines.
This is definitely not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. As you can see here, the system comes ready to go with pre-configured processes for different business models. So whether you're a company that makes physical products or a company that provides professional services, it's already set up to speak your language right out of the box. And what if you need to tweak things or add something unique? You've got two great options. On one hand, you have in-app extensibility. This is for your regular business users. No heavy coding required. Think about just adding a new field to a form or tweaking a simple rule. Easy. Then, on the other hand, you have side-by-side extensibility. This is for the pros, the developers. It lets them build powerful custom applications that connect perfectly to the core system, but without ever putting it at risk.
So we've talked about the tech, but getting this up and running isn't just about, flipping a switch. To really get the most out of it, it takes a bit of a shift in how you work. It's something we call a cloud mindset.
Now, you're not just thrown in the deep end. To make sure everything goes smoothly, there's a clear 6-step roadmap called SAP Activate. And this isn't some generic checklist. It's a tried-and-true methodology that holds your hand through the whole process, from the very first conversations all the way to go live and keeping things running smoothly afterwards. But honestly, the most critical piece for success isn't the software itself. It's the culture. It's really embracing this cloud mindset. What that really means is learning to adopt standard, best practice processes for the everyday stuff. Why? Because when you do that, you free up all this time, money, and brainpower to focus on the things that actually make your business special. You focus on innovating, not just reinventing the basics. And that really brings us to the final and maybe the most important question you need to ask yourself. It's not, is this technology ready for my business? The real question is my business ready for this technology? Are you ready to adopt a cloud mindset? Are you willing to let go of the way we've always done it to free up your best people for true innovation? Because answering that question, that's the real key to unlocking everything the cloud has to offer.